The last area that I want to cover is I want to talk about some of these other forms. We have what's called the negative forms. This is when we're making a negative statement. We have the imperative or command form, and we have the prohibitive form where you're telling somebody not to do something. So we'll start over here with the negative form. Again, this is still with the verb magi, which is a VAI verb. So again, you should be able to go to the dictionary at www.pottawamidictionary.com, look for the VAI regular verbs, and any of those verbs you should be able to punch into this pattern. Okay, so with the negative form, in the independent, this is the independent right here, you always have to have cho. Cho, and then you have this si. That's how you know it's a negative statement. So like namaji by itself is I leave. I didn't leave, or I'm not leaving, excuse me, it's present. I'm not leaving. So cho namaji si. Cho namaji si. I'm not leaving. But you have to have the si and the cho. This can be a little confusing to English speakers because a lot of times they would think of it as like a double negative. It's not what it is. I like to think of it as two chances to hear it was a negative statement in Potawatomi. So if somebody says something, you miss the cho, you hear the si, oh, okay, it's a negative statement. Or you hear the cho, you miss the si, oh, it's a negative statement. So cho namaji si, I'm not leaving. Cho gamaji si, you're not leaving. Now this isn't a command, this is a statement. You're not leaving. Cho gamaji si. Cho maji si, he or she is not leaving. Cho namaji si men. Now here, if you'll notice the men and the in for the we but not you, the si goes inside of it. Okay, so cho namaji si men. Cho gamaji si men. So we all are not leaving. Cho gamaji si men. Cho gamaji sim, you all are not leaving. Cho maji sik, they are not leaving. So the thing that you really have to pay attention with this is simply you got to remember to have a cho and a si as part of it. And the si is usually at the end, but once you get to the we's and the kind of plural ones, it's inside of the marker. So the men, it's before the men. Down here, the G and the M, it's before the M. So sim. Here you got the K, it's before the K. Maji sik. Okay? And this is the independent form. Now over here, I've got the negative with the conjunct form. It's a little easier. All you have to do in the conjunct is just put bawa at the front. That's it. You don't even have to have a cho in it. So you just say bawa majiyan. That majiyan is the I leave that we just talked about. Bawa majiyin, you're not leaving. Bawa majit, he or she's not leaving. Bawa majiyak, we but not you are not leaving. Bawa majiago, we all are not leaving. Bawa majiyuk or majiyak, you all are not leaving. Bawa majiwat, they're not leaving. So real simple in the conjunct. You just have to put that bawa on there and you don't have to worry about the cho. Now again, in the independent though, you have this cho and this si. They're the indicators that it's a negative statement. But the pattern's the same for the most part, other than that you just stick the si on here, or when you get to the we and the you all and the they form, you put it before the person marker. So before the men, you put the si. Before the M, you put the si. Before the K for the they, you put the si. And always remember, you have to have your cho as part of it. Okay. This command form, there's only a couple of forms. Well, 3 to be exact. Majin is telling one person, leave. So majin, maybe you're talking to your brother, you're talking to your sister, whatever. Majin, you're telling them leave. Okay. Majik, you're telling more than one person. So like everybody leave. Majik. Majik, everybody leave. And then gage majiman, let's leave. Gage majiman. This is kind of a pseudo form, if you will. In Ojibwa or Odawa, they actually will put a da at the end to say let's leave. This is actually kind of a pseudo form because this gage is like an immediate future tense. So it's kind of like we immediately are leaving, but we can use it like let's leave. So, but most of the times people will just use these two forms here. They'll say like, even when people are eating, like when people prayed before a meeting, they'll say, at the end, they'll say, we snick, everybody eat. They won't usually say, gage we sniman, let's eat. They'll say, we snick, everybody eat. So again, the in right here is telling one person, so majin. You just put the in on the end of that verb. Majik, telling more than one person, you all leave. Majik, just putting the K on the end. And then gage majiman, so the gage and the men saying, let's do it. But again, it's kind of a pseudo form, if you will. Over here we got prohibitive. This is when you're telling somebody not to do something. You have to have gago as part of it. Gago, just like you had to have cho over there with the C, you have to have gago as part of it. Okay? Gago maji can. Don't leave. Telling one person. Gago maji can. So you have to have gago and then can. So gago maji can. Don't leave. Telling one person. Gago maji kak. Don't you all leave. Gago maji kak. Again, so you got the can for one person, the kak for more than one, and you have to have the gago as part of it. Now, gago is an interesting word because if you use gago by itself, it doesn't really mean the same thing. Like if I just said gago, it really just means something. And I know some people sometimes will use it in kind of a slang way for like stop doing that or something, but it really doesn't have that same meaning unless it has the the can or the kak with it to really mean to stop doing something. So like if I said chogago, for example, that means nothing. If I say gago, it's something. If I say jokshigago, it's everything. So just gago just means something by itself. So you got to have the gago, you got to have the can, and then you got the verb in here. But again, you could just put a different verb in here. For example, you could say gago manakwe can. Don't drink. Don't drink it. Don't drink yet. Don't drink. You could say gago mbak can. Don't fall asleep. Gago mbak can. Gago mbak can. Don't fall asleep. Telling one person. If you're telling everybody, you could say gago mbak kak. Don't you all fall asleep. Gago mbak kak. So it's really simple once you get these patterns down to just punch in these verbs. Again, if you go to www.potawamidictionary.com, you're looking for these VAI, these animate intransative verbs, the real basic verbs. Okay, and then look for regular ones, and you should be able to punch pretty much all of those into these different patterns and just start using them right away. And what I would suggest is do that. I mean, if you get to the point where you want to start talking about certain objects, that's okay. It's a little bit of a broken Potawatomi, if you will, instead of changing it to like a TI, like saying like, I'm drinking that pop. But if you said, wishkababo namanakwe, I would understand that. And that's part of the process, getting used to using those words, But like, if you're asking a question like, gabaktene, are you hungry? Gabaktene, that would use this basic VAI and use an independent one, gabaktene. So really start using the words. Don't be afraid to use them. Whatever you learn, start using them. Hopefully understanding these patterns will help you out a little bit. Miigwech, ahau, yo.